Good day and good evening, and welcome back to Daily Roulettes Hangout stream with me, Chaiji, but you can just call me Kai. So, the way this goes, we're not as many as usual here. People usually show up a little bit later, that's fine. The way that this goes is that we'll be going through most of the daily roulettes, going from the top down. We're gonna skip main scenario, guild tests, mentor, and frontline. But we'll be going through them. We'll also be doing alliance raids last. Once we've done everything, we'll see what time it is, and maybe we'll have time for a Windurst on top of that. But that's essentially the plan. The way that I go about it is that I will say something like, if you want to come along for insert duty here, run over to me, and then I'll run to the... typically the pink platform. You step on the pink platform, I'll try to invite some people. I keep track of who I have already brought along for the evening. And also who got, like, skipped over. So, if you see, for instance, that there's already... like, 3 people ready to join for a 4-man duty... You still step on the platform, and I'll figure that out. I'll probably write, like, if I've already chosen 3, I'll probably write your name down just the same. It also means that if I've already brought 3, wait a second so I can write your name down. What are you in again? It's not in chat. You know, that's fair, Alice. Usually Aridil writes that for me. And there we go. Now, with that being said, hey Kaj, hey Mizo, hey Jane Monica, hey Tinley, hey Naomi, hey Gazel, hey Crab Galaxy, hey Volter, hey Alice, hey Fila, hey Ilya, hey Breadbean, hey Ilana, hey Jared X, hey Rust. Hope you're all doing very well, and thank you for the resub, Rust. Thank you so much. Right, so that's where my house is. It should be pinned now. Also, hey Liam, hope you're doing well. Also, very awesome. It is too hot once again in Denmark. Very cool, very awesome. Very, very cool. Hey Lucas, hope you're doing well. Right then, so should we just get on with it? So if you would like to join me for Expert Roulette, coming over to me. Nope. Is that a fish? Looks like a sword. I think I've gotten all the names that queued up here. Oh, we already have tank and healer. What do you want to play, Save? Third week of constant rain here. Can you share some sun? Oh, I wish I could trade you. Boom. Will we meet a chort, or will we not? It's chorting time! Woo! Bruh. Right out the gate. Oh, that's a nice ley line you just placed. Team 2 also got Caetsu. Fantastic. Hey, Reaper Seeker. Hope you're doing well. Just finally started working on my big fish and completing my log. Oh boy, yeah, that's a big project, or so I've heard. I have never tried it because I think I would be too frustrated by the potential like waiting for a particular fish and then you just don't get it. Or, for instance, I'm busy during the time where the fish appears. Like, that's very likely with the way that I play the game, right? Also, nice week streak, Lucas. Thank you so much. Hey, go dance. It's all fun and games until Chort goes from casting basic vomit to advanced vomit. Yeah. Would that be a raid-wide?
Take care of the fisher.
Or would it just be more intense? Playing around the fish? Yeah, I guess that would be the move, but you know I don't really do it like that. Hey, Weaver! Hey, Rambo! I'm glad to hear that. Thank you. Hey, Cat. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, Gazzle. Hey, Boobamet. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Taldabom. Hope you're doing well as well. Eyes on me. Thank you, Boobamet. Here comes the motion scanner. So it's surprisingly fun to mess with that mechanic. Oh. I just realized you summoned Esteem just to watch us beat the boss. Oh. I mean, I'm sure he appreciated you wanting to share, but he probably also felt like... I feel like I was late. It's somewhere around that here as well, Agent Monica. That is what makes it so rough. Hey, Retro Gaming! Hope you're doing well. From your experience, what am I getting into? I couldn't say much, Rambo. I have actually not even tried Epic of Alexander. But what I can say is if you've never tried an ultimate before, it's gonna be long. Hey, Marisong! And Floribunds. But yeah, I haven't actually really gotten that much into ultimates. Well, I know how, like, hard content is often done from a long period of experience. From also before 14, and also a little bit in 14. It wasn't actually until Dawntrail that I was in, like, a Savage Raid team for more than, like, a couple months. Hey, Valkyrian! Hope you're doing well. Hey, Buttercaster! Is there a server for someone who wants... which region are you from, Buttercaster? Are you NA or EU? Or somewhere else? For NA, if you can, I have heard that it can be very, very beneficial to make your character on Ether, because that is like the most hardcore data center for raiding. And sometimes it's so full that it can be difficult to get in. So, like, periodically it might be particularly handy. If you're... depending on how invested you are, it might not be necessary to worry about that. And I'm not sure how much it matters. After all, I'm EU, so I don't actually have hands-on experience with what I'm suggesting. It's based on what I've heard NA players say. Aside from that, Final Fantasy XIV has a feature where, as long as it's the same region, you can jump between worlds and data centers and just visit. You don't have to move permanently. You can just visit for free. So you don't have to, like, if you can't make a character on Ether, or you, for whatever reason, don't want to make one on Ether. As Crab Galaxy says, Ether often is blocked from making new characters due to how full it is. Then you should be able to visit often enough that it won't be an issue. Hey, Procrastinauts! And Rans! And also, as Rand says, there is a feature coming, like, soon. That is that you have region, I believe it is straight up region-wide party finder and all that, I think. So basically, unless you're like going to pay for a story skip and like pay to skip to level 90. You're probably not going to be at a level where all of this matters before this feature has been implemented. And then it doesn't matter what, like, where your home server is. You just do whatever you want. Hey Vince, hope you're doing well. The reason why I tend to forget options like incoming, like region-wide data, like region-wide party find and stuff like that, is because in the way I play the game, I usually, you know, I do the content where party find is needed with people that I just bring to Chaos. Like, Chaos is the quote-unquote dead party finder server in EU, but I obviously don't have any issues, right? Weird that. Funny how that works. Streamer guy makes people come to him. More at 11.
Carry out my will. Now for something different.
And yeah, in retrospect, I guess I should have used Limit Break on that last pull gasol. Flawlbun says Chaos is dead is a self-fulfilling thing, I think. No. It's complicated, Flawlbuns. I have actually made multiple videos talking about this. A while back, I made a video on the topic of worldwide data center travel. And the main point I made there is that we need region-wide party finder first. And part of the reason for that is that the way players play games, the way they do things like this, is that we can talk a big game all we want about, oh, well, all you have to do is make sure that you do your, like, you post up in your home data center. That's all you have to do. But the thing is, players will do what gets them what they want the quickest. And the moment that there is, like, slightly more players on light on the regular, right? People will start to move over to light because they, like, some people will, because they experience that their queues fit, like their groups fill slightly faster over on light. But now that those players have moved, Chaos feels slightly slower than before, which then causes more people to feel incentivized to go over to light, which then causes more people to want to go over to light, and so on and so forth. And that's where the self-fulfilling prophecy comes, right? But the problem is that it started with something pretty innocuous. I believe the story is that originally Chaos was the raiding data center in EU. Then I believe it's called Light Party does ultimates or something like that. LPDU. Which is like a community for doing ultimates that, given the name, is situated on light. Caused people to hop over there for stuff, and while they were there anyways, they just, you know, did other stuff, like queuing for other things, or just doing dailies or whatever. Like, while they happened to be there anyway, they just stayed, which then started this snowball effect. And you can probably see, like, a community specifically dedicated to doing ultimates, which, you know, wouldn't feature very much in Party Finder, is like a little bit of a surprise that had this effect. And that's like years ago. Take note of that, Floral Buns, because let me be clear. The thing you just said, you're seeing the aftermath. You're arriving in the burned down village and going, huh, I wonder why people played with fire yesterday. Because then time passed and, like, the ball started rolling. People started to notice that there were more Party Finder groups on light, so more people hopped over to light, and then more people hopped over to light, and then at some point it became bad enough over on Chaos that people started to, you know, tell each other, oh yeah, the reason why your groups aren't filling is because you're on Chaos, you have to go over to light. And then it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And at some point, what happens is a new player starts on the game and asks, which data center should I start on? And if Buttercaster here had said they were EU, I would have straight up said, it doesn't matter. You can just make a character on Chaos and then just visit Lights when you want to raid. Because there's always room to do that. So you just choose whatever you want. I'm on Louisoix. Chaos. Come on down. But because I know that over on NA, Ether can be convenient to have as your home data center, or at least it has been in the past, I'm gonna say that, of course. But you're right, at some point, we reached like a point where the ball has been rolling so fast that there's nothing we can do. That's also one, like, just saying, Floral Buns, in that video, I mentioned that this exact problem of people just moving to basically winner team joining, right? They're basically winner team joining, right? That's essentially what's happening. This happened with Frontline. The reason why Frontline just puts you on in groups at random, like in different teams, is because in the past, when Frontline matches would always put you on your Grand Company side, people that were good and dedicated to PvP would become Maelstrom. Like, they would all choose to be Maelstrom. Some more, like, engaged but not as dedicated would just stay Immortal Flames. But generally speaking, let's just say Maelstrom always won, Adders always lost, and sometimes, like, Immortal Flames was somewhere in the middle. Which then caused more people to go to Maelstrom and more people to go to Maelstrom, which meant that Frontline queues just never popped for Maelstrom players because there were too many. And Frontline matches rarely popped because there weren't enough Adders willing to hop into the meat grinder and lose. And then they just went screw it and made it random matchmaking because that's what players do. It's the winning strategy to do that. So they will. You can't give the players this option. The same thing happened with World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, it's even funnier because that LPDU story I just said, the way that ball got rolling in WoW is that in Burning Crusade, the first expansion, I believe Blood Elves, which is a Horde exclusive race, had like a slight advantage, like a pretty nifty advantage in certain specifics. Like, they had a particularly convenient racial ability, and their paladins had a better faction exclusive seal than Alliance. So it was just like a slight tipping point, which is funny because originally Horde had shamans and Alliance had paladins. Like, that's also a pretty massive difference, right? But that slight tipping point then meant that because there was an advantage there, the good players would switch over to Horde as needed, which meant that now the tipping point was, well, the good players are over on Horde. And then it just goes and goes and goes, and years down the line, it got so bad that, like, I think there was a raid tier where the top 100 first clears of a raid, there was like a dozen Alliance raids at best. Because all the good, like, all the best players went Horde. How did they solve it? You can raid cross-faction now. Because there's nothing you could do. They could make Alliance OP, and then all the best players would just, you know, unanimously just go boom, and then it would just go, and then you have the same problem. Nothing solved. So that's why you cannot put this problem in the hands of the players, because they don't care. They will just cause chaos. That's it. Catching up in chat. Hey, Pair Squared. Hey, Deadman. Hey, Violet Songbird. Hey, Provide. Hey, Sackboy. Hey, Tango Mangoes. There's any tips on making friends in this game? I'm still going through the MSQ when I joined an FC, but it's kind of a dead FC. Yeah, that can happen. Voltus is once again the saying, given the choice, players will optimize fun out of the game, is demonstrated. Yeah, in a way. They will definitely optimize their time, that is for certain. There's a lot of ways to go about it, Tango Mango. It's really hard because because social things can be really hard. You can join communities, Discords, whatnot. The free companies that just invite you on a whim tend to not really care whether you're active or not. A lot of the time. Hey, Jamception, hope you're doing well. And good luck with Wreath of Snakes. That one is pretty solid. We did that on real back when that was a thing. Right, let's get back to the duty stuff. Let me just do this first. If you'd like to join me for level cap dungeons, come on over to me. Yep, I got the names on my list. Well, in that case, I'll play DPS. Oh boy, it's Meso Terminal.
Ah, you've come. I'll begin by wearing you down.
I'll say dogs. Hope you're doing well. Nice 20 streak. Womp.
I've created new endless for you. Not all are warriors, but they
Oh, that's a rough situation, Echo Dance.
kill and survive and so forth. Here, I shall prepare the stage for battle.
Bruh, these enemies are moving really inconsistently.
The memories of a physician.
Appearance as the second boss in this dungeon is my least favorite in the whole game. Really? Is it that bad? I like it. The trick there now provide is just make sure you pack Phoenix down. Make sure to pack yourself some Phoenix Downs for the trip. Your healer might get hungry. Or feathers. Or be a red mage, that also works. You'll be sitting there as your healer dies for the 3rd time, thinking to yourself, good thing I'm a red mage. Right? Or a summoner, yeah. That can also work.
You've overburdened the system. No matter. It served its purpose.
A funny thing about that, Deadman, is that what I've noticed about Frontline, after they made it so that you can't lose Battle High, is that a team getting a lot of Battle High is actually even more explosive and cause the game to, like, be decided even faster. Like, the things that were already, like, a little bit of a problem feels like they're more of a problem. And the players that had trouble gathering a bunch of Battle High probably still have that problem.
Next, we visit a prison of sinister repute. I need not compel them to fight.
Thank you, Tango Mango. Yeah, if you want a suggestion of a place where you could look for some people, I can't promise that there will be people that will outright join you for stuff, but there should be a link to my, to this channel's Discord in the stream description.
These are loyal executioners. They shall deal appropriately with criminals. Your sentence is death. How long can you defy it?
Thank you, Eridil. Hope you're doing well, Eridil.
Criminals may run, but they cannot escape.
Ugh. I think I spent way too long not doing my filler combo there. I was sure I didn't get hit there, but I did. And then the paralysis hit right when I was about to dodge. Very cool. Hey.
Beginning to tire? Good. I bid you continue on.
Alice says, what is it about Viper that you like? To me it kind of feels like less interesting Reaper. I don't know. I like the simple filler combo. I like the fact that it is less strict about its burst timing than Reaper, for instance. I like that it doesn't really have as much to worry about with cooldown timing. Procrastinaut says, I think it's unfortunate that the answer to any question about socializing in this game is join a Discord. It'd be nice if the community hadn't made that a hard requirement. Bad news, Procrastinaut, because this is yet another thing where we might look at Final Fantasy XIV and say that and go, oh man, Final Fantasy XIV is so bad about this. Some years ago, nearly every game became like that. How do you find people to play with in Fellowship? Discord. How do you find people to play with in WoW? Almost certainly a Discord. How do you find people to play with in almost any like wider social game? Is typically join a Discord. That's just the world now. It's just more efficient, and Discord is so good at it because of the way players are just used to doing it now that even when the games try and invest energy into fixing it or doing something themselves, the players just go, thanks, throws it on the pile and joins a Discord. Final Fantasy XIV has tried. It's just that the players don't care, or it's not like front and center enough, and if people don't see it immediately, then they just don't care.
Memories. Let us see how it fares.
Hey Wild, hope you're doing well.
It is the midst of the storm surge.
But yeah, also a little bit similar to the whole thing we were talking about before with, oh, how do you find raiding groups in 14? You join that, you hop to the data center with the most people that do party finder stuff, and then that of course makes the other ones kind of dead by comparison, like a little bit self-fulfilling. It's kind of the same deal. At some point, people just found that Discord was pretty efficient at it, and then that's just how we started doing it, and then it became so effective and so ingrained in the way players do this stuff that it doesn't matter if the game itself offers a way to do it, because players will just default to what works.
Bombs rain down without.
It's pretty funny. It's many years ago at this point, but when Blizzard finally updated their looking for group tool, which had basically existed since at least Wrath of the Lich King, if not older than that. I'm not talking like looking like not the equivalent to Duty Finder, the equivalent to Party Finder. When they finally updated it, they had like pop-ups in the game equivalent to how when you try to download a different browser with Edge, it like Windows pops up like no, wait, it's good now, we promise. Just to try and get players to just give it a chance, because players have gotten so used to, oh yeah, well it doesn't work anyway, so why bother, that they would just toss it aside. Oh, whoops. I lost a coil. Get rejected in 90% of cases. Oh, that one is pretty simple, Retro Gaming. If you've ever been the person who makes the groups in WoW, if you make your own group for something, you'll know exactly why you get rejected 90% of the time. You post up a group for something people want, you get 300 applications. Even the ones playing the meta class will get rejected. Because they have one less item level than the other person. Like, genuinely, if you play WoW, try for the next Mythic Plus you're gonna do, post your own key. If your key is any good, you'll find that you have to reject 90% of the applicants. Cat says Discord lets you communicate without having the game open. That's a big plus for organizing. Yes, that's actually a good point, because that means that some people that are like efficient about like planning their time might be looking at planning with people, you know, so that they're like, I'm gonna play when I get home or something like that. And then they get home and they already have a group ready. Hey, Arak, hope you're doing well. Hey, it's Metrocon. Hope you're doing well as well. CGM Citron says, had this issue with RuneScape. A clanmate hated Discord and refused to use it, so they couldn't join in with harder content where we would want to talk through mechanics. Yeah, that's another good example of how this can, like, kind of perpetuate itself, right? And that sounds like a pretty good day, Arak. Is Team 2 still in? Did we have a Team 2? No worries, Procrastinauts. Enjoy work. This has been going all right. We haven't gotten very far yet. We suddenly get distracted with all sorts of interesting stuff. What is going on there? Huh? Sure. It's okay, guys. It's back to normal. I think Asymmetricon has it exactly right. Discord is kind of mid for everything it does, but it does everything in one window. And that's ultimately what it does, is that the competition had it been more complicated to set up a server. Where Discord just says, no, you just click a button, boom, done. And then you can do your thing, whatever. It's kind of like mid at it, but it's good enough, and then it became like the standard. Right, if you'd like to join me for high-level dungeons, come on over to me. Let's see. Making sure that I can actually see the names. Because I have a list, and I'm adding to it as we go. Please don't leave. I think I got everyone there. But I'm adding more people than I'm removing each wave. Oh boy. We have a keep off the lake. Yeah, exactly, Retro Gaming. I'm keeping track of who I already brought so that I don't like grab the same 3 people every time. But recently for these streams, we're enough people that I might not actually be able to get to everyone. Team 2 got Pagelthan. Oh, nice. Can we swap? Team 3 got Swallow Sky. Man! This feels just like when I get like a chain of guild tests and then like everyone else is like, oh yeah, we landed in like Titan Extreme and did it in one pull. Oh, we got Thornton Extreme and did it in one pull. I'm like, man, that sounds awesome. Did you have fun? I loved punching Bachman 5 times in a row. Our song says, any real ones remember Skype? I used to play League of Legends over Skype. And I used to raid over Ventrilo. Hey, Anza! Nej, it's you! And the trick there, Crab Galaxy, is in the... Like, I think the raid team I was in Mr. Pandaria was just a little bit old school, because I'm pretty sure TeamSpeak was the thing at the time. It was just that the leader preferred Vent and already had that set up. But, see, the trick is, what you do is you start as a tank. You make sure you say the things that are important, right? And then, eventually, if you're really cool, you end up becoming an officer. And then you're one of the ones that are always allowed to speak, because it might be important. I was also pretty much always tank in WoW. I almost had like a catchphrase. Both in Mr. Pandaria, I carried around the sacrificial ritual dagger, because a lot of the time, if we had issues where something went wrong in a pull, it would take so long for me to die willingly that it was like a legit time save. And in Legion, when I did Mythic Plus, if my party died, I usually said, should I give it a go or do you want me to wipe it? Again, because if I just didn't let the boss win, I could probably, like, keep it going for a few minutes. And there was a legit possibility I could beat the boss. It's just, we probably wouldn't make the timer at that point. That sounds like a Legion Blood DK? I mean, it wasn't exclusive to Blood DK. It was just a thing that I did. But yeah, I did in fact play a lot of Blood DK and a lot of Brewmaster. The legend has actually lived on a bit, because in a somewhat recent run of Sithral's Fall over in Fellowship, I was tanking as Elena, my party died, and then I almost soloed the last 20% of a boss. Almost. Like I died at like 2%. Everyone wants to time it. Yeah. Well, it's probably only going to get more frantic as time goes, Crab Galaxy, because there's probably a lot of people that are like almost like stuck because they've reached a point where they refuse to just do a clear for the sake of it. But what they really need is just like some full clear practice before they go for the timed clear, and they get more and more impatient and more anxious. And Sithral's Fall is difficult. I would say especially for the healer. Yes, mine. Hope you're doing well. I just realized that you came in with that statement. Hope you're doing well. Retro Gaming says, I have a feeling we would be good tanking mates back in Legion. Probably. There's just not quite something like the bromance of the two tanks in a raiding guild. While the chaos of the rest of the raid team rages on, the two tanks are just like, we know what to do, right? Yeah. Are they talking about something relevant for us? No. So, anyway, how's your day? Oh. Kill him! Get him! You burned my shoe! How could you? I paid good money for these rubber boots. They're watertight. You know that all those casts were so long that several times I had to stop myself from moving because like, no, the mechanic is happening today. Oh, even further back. Sure, why not? Why are you worried, Answer? What I'm gonna use the MP for? I have so much MP, untapped MP, from using Duo. We'll be fine. These dragons are really, really efficient. Nice. Right then. I'll be right back, and then we'll keep going. Anytime. Manatee restored. Return! By the way, if you're enjoying the stream, it does help a lot with a like over on the YouTube side of things. Thanks so much in advance with helping me fight the algorithm. I assume Team 2 got out. Did Team 2 and 3 get out? Well, who was the lead? Who were in those teams? Let's see. It's a little bit far up. Team 2, Palathan. Team 3, Swallow's Compass. Is Rust here? Rust is here. Is Team 2 still in? Looks like they are. It's off! Hope you're doing well. Here to lurk as we're supposed to have an OO session in a minute. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I have plans. Oh no. Reaper Seeker says, and on Twitch, remind that some of you may have a Twitch Prime that isn't being used if you like the stream. That's also true. That can also help. That is also very much appreciated. I don't have that strange overlay thing where when you point at the stream with your cursor, it shows, by the way, Prime. But it does help. It's very much appreciated. I mean, if you have it. We're waiting for Team 2. We're waiting for Team 2. We're waiting for Team 2. It's in an hour. Dang it. No! That's the worst. I could have played for another hour? Man! Thank you for the Prime Teeth, yo! Thank you. That's awesome. Crab Galaxy says, if you had a more spam-prone chat, like spamming emotes, I'd recommend that stream mod that adds the emotes as a pile to the screen until it fills up. That sounds pretty funny. I have actually like a list of things, like I have a note to myself, I just haven't got around to it, but I have a note telling me that I should look into all of these things. I just haven't gotten around to it. Team 2 got Peggle Than. At least I'm not late. True, now you have time to eat something. And dance. And, sit down. And party hard. Looks like everyone is back. Yes, party while sitting down. Absolutely. Just party it up. Right then, I think everyone is back. So, if you'd like to join me for leveling, come on over to me. Come to me. Looking at the names on my list. He checks it twice. Right. This. And this. White mage. White mage. Actually, wait. That level range? Then I think I'd rather be scholar. Do 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 do. Hey Falca, hope you're doing well. Ow. Team 3 got Chaiji. Team 2 is not even 4 people? Oh. That's awkward. Oh. Nice abyssal drain. You got Tower of Zod. That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid one. Yeah, I haven't seen as much Satisfactories of, but I have seen something similar with Factorio, with people having like huge factories because they have like times 1,000 costs or something like that. You need 1,000 times more science to research something. And then that's a little bit too much for me. I think Factorio's fun. I'm just not that good at the whole like long-term planning that can be sort of needed for actually making that big of a factory. Scram everything later. Yeah, that I feel like works better if you're like just on normal multipliers. Oh, that's a living dead. That's a spooky time to have paralysis. There's no long-term planning, only degrees of a starter base. Is it Dosh that said, just keep calling it your starter base? Then people won't question it. Hey Aaron, hope you're doing well. I think the Roulettes have been going pretty well, but that's always the case with the community. Hey Dr. Zeno. Ah. And it's pretty cozy in a line. Crap. No, deconstructing Satisfactory doesn't sound that fun. Just planning and always leave room for Just planning and always leaving room for branches. Yeah, you have a point that it's the kind of difficulty where unless you specifically find it fun to do that, what's actually gonna happen is that you're just getting forced to deal with everything in a specific way, so that ultimately it never becomes a problem. But I guess that is the challenge. It might also lead someone who finds such a challenge really difficult, would just lead them to not actually build very much. And just be more willing to just wait for things to build. Because what if I built something and I needed to deconstruct it? Then what do I do? I have a feeling that would happen to me. It's not quite the same, but it's a little bit reminiscent of, like, for instance, a no-hit challenge. You're more likely to use some sort of really cheesy strat where you're not in range to get hit in the first place. More likely to just avoid combat altogether. If you think it's fun, then more the power to you. I'm just saying that it is interesting that it's the kind of thing where you could easily catch yourself doing something really boring.
Rip and tear!
Boom! Ugh. Boom! That was an effective deployment.
We go together!
Where are we going? We go together! To Disney World land! Disney World! Would 14's music tracks that have lyrics qualify as mumblecore? What is mumblecore? Does I do my planning satisfactory by slamming down a bunch of extra structures? That challenge would not be for me. Yeah, it sounds about right. I think I'd do the same. Sometimes in Factorio, when I'm figuring out how to build something, I'll just place, like, I'll just design the construction and be like, okay, this works, this slaps, and then rebuild it where I need it. Which wouldn't work if you're not allowed to deconstruct anything. Like, right, this is my blueprint catalog. I just have it. Yeah, what is mumblecore? I feel like the songs in 14 that have clear lyrics, it's more like the music is pretty loud, so it's sometimes hard to hear what is being said. Similar to how it can be in, like, a metal band or something. Accidentally place a belt wrong. Well, time to build a new base somewhere else. I think you did fine, Altani. Deadman says, "Oh, mumblecore is a film genre. I thought it was literal mumbled lyrics." I mean, I don't know what it's called, but there is like this somewhat new, because I feel like it's been a few years, style of rapping where they're just going like hubba 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 ha to a beat. That kind of sounds a little bit mumblecore if we're gonna make it a music genre. But I might be biased. I don't think it sounds that good. That doesn't mean if you like it that there's anything wrong with that. I don't. Mumble rap is what you're thinking of. Yeah, there you go. The SoundCloud rap style. Deadman says, from what I understand, Soken intentionally lowers the volume of the vocal line in the mix for the game tracks. I mean, that makes sense. I think it helps to make it more like background music to what's actually happening. If the voice is like not cutting through as hard, it would also be really difficult. Like you're sitting there fighting Brute Bomber and he is like, I'll blow you to smithereens, and like what you're hearing is like, I'll blow you to smithereens, while you're hearing like in the music because it's not lowered enough. Sorry about that. Put it a little bit too strong there. Or Wicked Thunder is like, Electrope has many uses, and you can't hear a thing because the music is blasting too hard. Zav says, if I recall correctly, I read somewhere that they do that because neither of them are that good singers. Oh, really? Well then. I don't think it's that bad. I guess that is a move. Is everyone... No, I don't think everyone is out yet. I don't think I see Mizu. Hey, Sally! So that's why I like music more in earlier raid series, because I didn't really even notice that they have lyrics, so it works much better as background music. Yeah, I will say there are certain themes I'm like, that would be great to put in a video. The problem is that the lyrics are like cut through too strong, so it makes it harder to hear what I'm saying, I feel. So I don't do it. Where team 2? Any haunted mask? Crab Galaxy says, I wonder if people would buy 14 albums that are instrumentals of their songs with lyrics. Wouldn't surprise me, people would. I mean, to be fair on that stuff, I feel like you have shared before that with music in general, you don't really focus on lyrics. You just said that, yeah. So it makes sense that you wouldn't notice as easily. And it says most people don't buy music nowadays. Also true. I think people would buy albums like that. How many would buy them? Probably not a lot. How many people would listen to them? Probably a lot. I mean, just a funny side bit while we're... Oh, they just came back. I'll explain it anyway. Funny side thing is that sometimes you don't even need to add the lyrics to a song. You can just put... Or rather, you don't have to sing the lyrics to a song. You can just put the lyrics on the screen and then just have the instrumental alone. I think Deltarune has done that more than once. That it just has the music and then just playing the riffs so that it's pretty clear where the lyrics go, but there's like a karaoke track going with it, but there isn't like an official version where it's sung over. That you figure that one out. You imagine that yourself, I guess. Hey Shaq, hope you're doing well. I think Undertale also did it at one point. I don't think that they actually put lyrics to it. But people have put lyrics on songs that were otherwise just music. Mettaton did a song. Oh, right. That is true. That I guess, yeah, that's true. That's true. I think I was thinking of like battle themes, but yeah, you're right. Right then. This. I think we will do the trials and normal raids in the same group. So if you'd like to join me for both, come on over to me. I finally got to the bottom of the list, I think. And then I looked at the top again. Rost is making a second group. Oh, I'm DPS. Where are we going now? Oh. Oh. That's a little boring. It's your boy, the big whale. He floats. Ah. Oh. Right. I was like, I have Masterful Blitz now, right? It's heaven. Oh, not level 60. Man. I went and spent perfect balance all this for nothing. Cat with a could it be? My one true love. No, it's just Bismarck. Zep's whale is a kind of a manatee. Yeah, but I feel like the Watcher wouldn't waste our time like this. Team 2 got Tsukuyomi. Man. Can we swap? No, I know, Cat. That's why I put on the voice for it. Could it be my one true love? Unfortunately, no. It's just Bismarck. Hey, Betelgeuse! Hope you're doing well. I tore him for the third time in a row in Mentorlet. Oh. Bruh. Now that sucks. Oh boy, time to do some Mentorlets and have some challenging duties, right guys? Guys? Oh, cat is having soup. Nice. Exodi. Thunderhead. The assassination. Hey, Mateus! Great. Someone in the party doesn't have Alexander unlocked. And it should say in red text in your chat log, assuming you haven't turned it off. If it's you. I can't see who it is. Oh. You know, that's fair. It can happen. No worries. We're missing one. We could grab someone. Should we just try and grab Shaq? Because you didn't have a chance earlier. Maybe he'll click yes. You're still eating. Oh, well in that case decline. Maybe Ilya wants. I don't know. I don't know if Agent Monica wants. I can't actually remember if Agent Monica stood in the group wanting to join earlier. No more commendations, and I'm going to have to abandon my main. How many would you be at then, Zav? It would be at 69. That is a very nice number. We're here to kill chaos. Chaos, chaos. Boom. Wow. He really had us there. Team 2 got A11N. Ooh. Exted forgot to show up to the phase 3. Imagine they just updated A9, sorry, 09 and 04, so that they suddenly just appear in each other's battles now. Yeah, we had this like blind date situation that Kefka set up, and you know what? We found out that we have a lot in common, so why not just hang out more frequently, you know? It just makes sense. We hang out on the weekends. It's pretty cool. We talk a lot about world domination. And the ability to use like 4 elements. And debuff soup. Hey Clem, hope you're doing well. Stoicism? What? What are we talking about? Maybe they mean Soteria? Maybe. Do you mean Soteria? Skill that makes you unable to be interrupted for 4 seconds? Shorecast? Yeah, you use it to... You see the second line? The additional effect? Makes you immune to knockback. Can be really, really handy. Especially for a caster, because sometimes you're casting something, and if you get shoved during it, then you won't get to finish the cast. The first part is like extremely niche, admittedly. There are cases like, I don't know, in like unsynced groups where you might like, or even just like weird group compositions where you as a mage might end up tanking something. Or as a healer even. And there it might make sense to use Shorecast so that you're sure you don't get interrupted during your cast. But because of how long it lasts, like the main thing you'd probably want to do that with is something like a hard-casted Raise. Raise takes longer than the full duration of Shorecast, so even that is like shaky. But the knockback immunity is always useful. Right. We wait for Team 2 to get out, and then we'll see if we can coordinate queuing into Alliance raids together. So there they are. Do, 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 do. Does it work on things like Divine's extreme slam attack? Yes, it does. There are things that you can't knockback immune, but incidentally, Leviathan Slide is one of the things that you can immune with Surecast. So how many are we in each group? Did you say team 2 is 5? Right. When Shaq is ready in about a couple minutes, you invite Shaq in, then we're 7 and 6. If anyone else wants to come along as well, go over to the white platform for Team 2. And then we'll see what we can do. It might be light blue. Can't actually remember what color I dyed it. It might be light blue. But it is, you know, contrasting with the pink here. White. Sorta. You know? Have we arrived at the white and gold and blue and black dress again? It is blue, right? I do agree. It is like mildly blue. I do agree. You're 6 now? Anyone else? Right, we do some ready checks. Make sure you have at most 1 tank. Most 2 healers. Let me know when Team 2 is ready. Make sure everyone checks that they themselves have the appropriate item level. OQ when Eosia time says 720. Ow. The dress photo was just in incredibly bad lighting conditions. I mean, that too, but there's something to be said that you can actually see in other, like, more clear examples, that depending on the colors, like, surrounding something, like what colors your brain ends up focusing on, it may deem that something is, like, one color, but in the shade, or a different color in the sun, or something to that effect. And it just happens like that. And that, I believe, is actually what happened, is that depending on what the brain focused on, some people saw, you know, white and gold. While the others saw black and blue. Pretty funny. Hey, Louis! Hope you're doing well. Psychology with Kai. Yeah. Remember, guys, I don't have a degree in that. It's just something I heard. Did we get the same team after? Did we end up in the same one after all? Looks like we did. Hey, Emily! Hope you're doing well as well. Emily! You know, understandable concern. Looks like a random in one of the other alliances said, what kind of alliance raid did I just get into, man? You know, if you suddenly see, like, multiple alliance raid teams that seem to know each other, I could definitely see the concern of, like, oh no, are we gonna get memed on? But the good news is that the community is pretty solid, I would say. Energy assault! Blarg! Energy salt! Big blobs of salt! So did both teams get in the same one? Yes! Because the person, like, because someone didn't click yes to the queue we got instantly, the second thing that popped was the same one. Yeah, I couldn't remember which one that one was. I feel like the other one where it hits the sides is more clear. So I usually remember which one is not that by elimination. Bonk. Yeah, Camlin out is still pretty tough. I remember doing it on like day 1, and there was a bug on the boss, I believe, that made it so that if you entered his arena too quickly after failing, he wouldn't respawn. So despite us being like down to like, we're basically gonna wipe numbers, we stayed the course and kept trying. Because we weren't gonna risk putting it on anyone to not step in too fast. Nhung. Would you look at that? Now fly over the chasm by holding on to a tiny droid. Okay, hope you're doing well. Strong grip or strong droid? Maybe a bit of both. Hopefully a bit of both. That's a funny limit break! I mean, it's not like the limit break could be used for anything else. I believe it resets when we get into the next boss room. Still really funny. But are those the droids you're looking for? Maybe. It's Lara Croft. Hey, Data Influx. Hope you're doing well. Quite alright, yes. We managed to get 2 teams into the same copied factory. So we're big winning. Admittedly, that is a common problem, Zarth. Especially as we like start out gearing content. Wow. That was some perfect positioning for the hitbox of that mechanic, Gassel. Standing right in the fire, taking 0 damage because, well, Gassel could see exactly where the line is drawn on the in the game code itself. Who needs effect indicators when you just can see the code directly? Wham! What do we have? Is that the one where it senses a box? Oh my god, it's the box of goodies, guys! Here it comes! It's filled with gifts for everybody, also known as explosive droids. I was gonna say explosive bombs. I don't know what other kind of bomb there is, but rejoice and partake of my gift. It's a bomb. Oh, right. Miso says logic bombs, Zao says glitter bombs. You know, there are options. My bad. A pretty solid 38k misery. Subscription bombs? Yeah, that's a good point. I had a feeling that it maybe would have worked. Otherwise, it would have just zooped. Oh, thank you so much, Retro Gaming. Thank you so much for 5 gifted subs. That is a sub bomb. That is true. That is also another example. Live demonstration. Thank you so much. Would Surecast have worked there? Probably. I think it would. Actually, let's check now. Oh, another 38k. Nice. Flato's Misery, everybody. We'll kill the boss 138k at a time. Hey, Mango. Hope you're doing well. Egodan says, what would be the funniest thing 14 could collab with, do you think? I don't know. Fall Guys? Oh, wait, they already did that. What? Yeah, actually, the World of Warcraft would be pretty funny. I'll say Nox. Hope you're doing well. Wow. The sub-bomb resulted in a hype train as well. Thank you. That's crazy. Now that is a sub-bomb. Doo-doo-doo, it's a plane! It's a plane! Hit him! Get him! Uh-oh. Now. We spent all the 38k crits, guys. We ran out. Shops closed on the critting Aflatus Miseries. And because we got synced down, we don't have any direct hits, so it's not going to get any better than that. I'm going over here. Screw that. You know, that's true, Cat. Skippity Toilet would also be pretty wild and unexpected. Let's just say that. Rance's magic and oh wait, they already did that. Oh, rather, I guess we haven't seen Magic the Gathering in Final Fantasy XIV. But how would that work? Would that just be a bridge into the complete insanity of all the other collabs Magic has done? IKEA? Would we even notice if they did an IKEA collab? Would we notice? There are lines on the floor. Uh-oh. Tank privilege. There's already a Magic the Gathering and Final Fantasy collab. Yeah, but not in Final Fantasy. Like, what I'm saying there, Rans, is the Magic and Final Fantasy collab resulted in a lot of cards. Did we see anything in Final Fantasy XIV? I don't think we did. Maybe the IKEA collab would just be like, you know, one of those rare cases where they decide to make like a dungeon or something, and it's just a huge maze. Like, that's the day they decide to add in 1.0 edition of Aurum Vale or something into this version of Final Fantasy XIV. Is to put every single piece of your furniture, you have to make every single piece of furniture yourself and then put it together in a separate menu. There'll be a whole quest about looking for that one screw you missed. Toot toot. Ow. A Galax table. Louis says, imagine wiping this boss because the tank pulled the mini-boss mobs together. I think I've seen something get close to that, actually. That's a mean starting point with sauce. Microsoft Windows collab. Oh boy. Imatsure, hope you're doing well. A Nier collab. You know, what gave you that idea? I feel like you were looking at something when you thought of it. Oh, oops. I feel like I could have helped there, but I was too slow. Oof. Alicia down! Oh, 42,000. Fantastic. That Dokomori putting in work. are lines on the floor. Oh! Did Roulettes just get memed by walking forward 1 second too early? Man! That is the worst. The best collab, Final Fantasy XIV with Final Fantasy 14. You know, that's a good idea. What should they get? Like, what should they exchange? Hey, Bulky! It says what I was looking at, 2B's dies. You know, fair. That, I guess that happens a lot. The exchange would make the world tremble! Would we finally get to cast Ultima? Meow. 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 It's the Final Fantasy 2 version. Oh man. Does chain stratagem only affect your party? It should affect the whole the whole alliance raid. Just like how the Komori affects the whole alliance raid. Because the description is that it makes attacks on the enemy have higher crit chance. They can auto. Oops. I don't know why I dashed so hard that way. I meant to use a Flatus Misery. And I dashed instead. A FIFA collab and call it quadruple F. Hey, fun again. Hope you're doing well. That is a pretty high hit rate on that one. Yeah, that is actually impressive because I don't feel like I spent that much time in near raids. And it says, did we skip tanks? I don't know. Do the tanks come after this? Hope you're doing well. How's the M12 proc going? Last time we reached idyllic dream with like a skeleton crew. So pretty well. Man, I did everything I could to maximize that damage, and then we didn't get the crit. Wow, the scam. This is what he skipped the tank phase for. So that he... Wait, what? I have never seen that before. Just flies away like, wait a minute, I think I'm dead. Let me just fly back and check. Yep. Look, it says, I think we did too much damage. I mean, we were really strong. That is why I said when the rando was like, what kind of alliance rate have I like gotten into? I said, we'll be fine. Because that's usually how it goes when we bring the community. Right, I'll be right back and then we'll look into Windurst. Sanity restored. Hey CG, hope you're doing well. I did ask that because I saw you in my alliance raid. Fair enough. I wasn't sure if it was someone who knew me or someone who's like... who's this? What are we doing here? But yeah, in that case, it makes a lot more sense. Right. Give it a second, because there's the something ad break. Yep, that should work. Hey Brandman, hope you're doing well. We just finished on a really fast copied factory, and now we're going into Windurst. Think it's pretty good. Right, if you would like to join for Windurst, come on over to me. Let's see how many we are. I see that we're 11, assuming Sethia is also joining. So we should be 6 and 5. I am already in a group of 6. Alternatively, I can just leave this party and then make a team 2. But we can also, if someone else wants to do the team 2, that also works. You know what, we do that. That way I've actually grabbed some of the people that were in team 2 for all of the other stuff. Do this. This. And then... there we go. We have a 6 and a 5. I put Mizunashi as leader, mainly because Mizunashi was leader of a team 2 earlier, I think. We're doing a ready check. Is team 1 ready? And Cat got his soup. Fantastic. Oh. Well, dang it. Mizu says, imagine an audience of players watching a content creator whose content is focused on getting better at the game being half-decent players? Gasp. Right? I mean, I think it's just awesome that the result is that when we do content together, we have a tendency to, like, completely smash easier content because, like, every player in the party is above average. Well, now there's a chance, maybe, I guess? Question mark? So that's a long average wait time. Retro Game says, I'm below average, I freeform everything. I've seen it, Shaq. Hopefully it'll be resolved soon. Otherwise we have at least more than a day. Average raid time is pretty unreliable when it comes to alliance raids. Yeah, but we can hope. Thank you, Addis. I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, that is indeed also the reason why I think that. Retro Gaming says that they're below average because they freeform everything, is not realizing the part where the average is closer to things like, oh yeah, sometimes I press my damage buff like when I feel like it. Sometimes I just don't. Like if you're using your cooldowns, you're already doing pretty well. Yeah, good answers. I'm not sure on my skill level personally, but also it might just be hard to gauge that by yourself. Yeah, I think it also helps to see like how, like, I think it starts to really like stand out when you see how how dungeons and duties go depending on what slot you're filling. When you start to really notice when you start to like have enough headspace that you can see what everyone else is doing while doing your thing. Then you really start to notice. Red says, I need to make a follow-up to the what if all the party was bad? That would be, what if all the party was good? You know, the funny thing there is that the reason why I never even considered that is because I feel like if I made a video like that, first of all, that sounds like bragging. And tooting your own horn a bit much. I also have a feeling that even if the community is really good, I can totally see individuals making like small mistakes in a duty. And like, where do we draw the line? How good is good? Like, what's deserving of a video in such a way? But then again, the what if all the party is bad has gotten plenty of responses that basically boil down to, well, you didn't do this thing that I think is required for it to be considered bad, even though your disclaimer at the start excluded it. You didn't do that thing. You didn't do it. You weren't bad enough. Which is funny, because the funniest bit about that is that is that you will see people that simultaneously claim that all casual content is little easy mode, and that anyone can do it no problem, while simultaneously complaining that every group they have is about as bad as in that video. What if every party member is good and it's a full team unsyncing, says Tasha? I think I would do, like, I think where it would make sense would be to, like, do something like running Vanguard again, because that's the setting of the original video, as a comparison point. And there, I think part of the problem is that even if the entire team is pretty good, they might not be super well acquainted with how to optimize the job they choose at level 98, which can have a significant impact. Nox says it's rare for me to do a flawless Vanguard. Yeah, exactly. I also make some mistakes every now and then in that one. Just gotta run it repeatedly until you're consistently perfect. But yeah, that's the reason why I didn't make that one, was because I was thinking, nah, I feel like that's not as interesting, and suddenly it's not as funny. And it might also set weird expectations of what is good enough, I feel. No one is doing Windust on a Thursday. For some reason. Second boss is a headache. Is it that bad? Crab Galaxy says, it's really funny how much faster things go with the community, even if we are generally above average. Yeah, exactly. Crab Galaxy also saying it said, I think the only game where I'm not at least a little better than average is Fellowship, and that's a game for sweaty gamers. Of course I struggle a bit with it. I feel like you would be shocked at how bad some players are at Fellowship. He says, I'm sure we've got time for weird optifacts, and it doesn't have to just be Black Mage either. You mean now? Red says, there's no game where you cannot be shocked by how bad some people are. True, but with a game like Fellowship, where a lot of the time people kind of expect that the people that would play a game like that would probably have prior experience with it, you'd sort of assume that the average player is a lot better than in a game that is, like, you know, more casually targeting. Crab Galaxy says, I always get a partner DPS that does like double my damage when I'm not getting tanks that pull everything, die and then leave. Retro Gaming says, is it bad if I don't aim for the positionals as melee because I don't want to? I mean, you're leaving out a lot of damage. Especially because they don't come up that often. And you have True North. For a lot of positionals, it's like... How do I put it, Retro Gaming? If all you had to do... Actually, better idea. Do you play Viper at all? If you do you always press the follow-up OGCD? You know, you go 1, 2, 3, ooh, Boden's button, and hit that. Do you always do that? Yes. Okay. relatively speaking, a positional is a little bit less than that. But they're basically asking for you to, instead of doing, you know, let me just set it up, right? Instead of asking you to do this, right? They're asking you to do this. It's one button press. Technically, it's still one button press. Oh, fantastic. Well, the trick there, retro gaming, is if you start to make the points where the specific positionals are somewhat consistent, then you don't have to remember which is which. You just go, well, usually I put the flank positional on this button and the rear positional on that button. I don't always do that myself. But sometimes I do. And we got into the same one, I think.
What echoes has Serelja conjured this time, I wonder?
Hey, make some time.
The great star tree. This must be Windust Walls.
Yeah, the jobs that you play a lot, you'll probably remember. The jobs you don't play as much, it'll be harder. But see, there's a huge difference there, retro gaming. There's a huge difference there. Because you said, I don't do it because I don't want to. That's kind of lazy, isn't it? I don't because I can't. Why do I have dance partner? I don't because I don't remember is more understandable, but you could learn it. You could, like, work on that. And that's the key here, is that if you say, I don't do it because I don't want to, then there isn't very much to do aside from me saying, like, I don't know, guilt-tripping you into doing it anyway, right? But why would I do that? But if the reason is something more understandable, like I can't, like, keep track of all of them at once, and I'm playing too many jobs, then that's just a matter of, like, reviewing a little bit when you've played the jobs. And just, you know, take a moment to go, oh, right, that was the position, that was the flank positional.
Have care. There's no telling what she'll conjure next.
Like, at some point, it'll be ingrained enough that it just works. Like, if you've ever seen monks that switch positional, like, switch the positional they need, or that they stand in for every GCD, it's because they probably started playing monk before they removed all those positionals. Back in the day, every single target GCD for monk had a positional.
For my next feat, let's turn up the heat.
And it was something you drilled enough that you just knew, oh, flank, brack, flank, rear, rear, flank. Like, just back and forth. You just kept track of that. And it wasn't unusual that people, you know, like, set their actions based on what positional they were, rather than, this is the one that gives me the buff, and this is the one that gives me that applies the dot. It was instead, well, this is the flank positional, and this is the back positional. Hey, Ross! Oh, Healing Rose, I think it is. Hope you're doing well. These are playing 14 on controller on PC. I started yesterday to try playing it on mouse and keyboard as well. Do you have any tips to try and make this transition better? I don't. And I think it would be silly of me to suggest that I do, because I've never played 14 on a controller. I basically don't play games on a controller, so for me it's like, oh, fantastic, you're playing in the way that I play the game.
Damn it. Is everyone alright?
I would say maybe start small. I have given the advice that if you feel like a new job you're picking up is a little overwhelming, I usually suggest like start with start by doing something like Sastasha or Sastasha or some other low-level dungeon with only those buttons, and then, you know, gradually build up to get the rest of the toolkit. And since you're not like learning the job, you're just learning your keybinds, you'll probably be able to advance a lot quicker if you want. But that way, you only have to like put the keyboard keybinds for like maybe 10 actions. And then you add a little more, and you add a little more, and you figure out what works. Something that I would not recommend is copying my hotbars, because I use an MMO mouse, and if you just started using mouse and keyboard, it would surprise me if you have an MMO mouse. But if you do, then who knows, maybe that would help.
The comrade is down. We mustn't give up. Quickly, someone revive them.
Too slow, I fear. You never stood a chance, my dear. I shall snuff your flame out. Another swift rout.
Oh, battle's over.
She was a doll.
You've proven a match for my magic doll. Perhaps you have merit after all.
Bieltana. This looks like Artogan.
Ah, it's Oregon.
The enemy has breached the Baron's defense line. They march on the Imperial capital.
The city has been besieged. Make ready. The enemy will soon be upon us.
You do have an MMO mouse. Right. I have a video on the channel that is like demonstrating my thought process on keybinds and how I do it. That also shows an image that shows the keybinds on my mouse and my essentially how I access the buttons, because I have found my MMO mouse in a maybe slightly unexpected way. Like if you have one of those with a thumb grid, I use 1, 2, 3 for 0, dash, and plus, and I use 4, 5, 6 for 7, 8, 9. And then like further back I use the bonus actions, you know, those that get added over here. And then I just use my left hand for the left stuff and the right hand for the right stuff. And then again, if you've already been playing on controller for years, or for a long time, then you have probably already learned some strategies to keep track of where you put what buttons by having certain systems that you apply across different jobs. And you just continue doing that. And the reason why I tend to...
Look at all these adorable two legs. Come, Dance with me, mortals.
Their leader has finally shown themselves.
The reason why I usually skip over suggesting Palace of the Dead for things like this is that regardless of what job you choose to practice, well, it will let you like have an experience of having like all the action from level 1 to 60 gradually get added in, right? It's also gonna put you in a situation where the usefulness of the buttons will be different from what you'd usually experience, because you're using them in Palace of the Dead, not in a real dungeon, quote unquote. Like, you'll learn the usefulness of a button in Palace of the Dead, not the usefulness of a button in general. For instance, you might find that, like, if you're learning a healer, then you will probably, like, if you don't really think about it too much, you'll probably be very likely to put something like Ixoholy, which is an AoE heal that you don't need as much, especially not if you're going in Palace of the Dead solo. Don't know if you do that for this kind of test. Which you probably put really far away, because that's not very useful.
Are these not the undersea ruins of Alzadar?
But like, if you're actually, you know, thinking about it, you'd probably go, well, it is an AoE heal, and I probably will need that, and then put it somewhere smart. Hence why I'm saying, if you're not thinking too hard about it. So that's just something you also have to keep in mind when you're doing it. And for that reason, I tend to suggest just doing dungeons as you, like, escalate the level. It also might feel more like
So we meet again.
natural if you do a lot of dungeons.
Thy sin shall be cleansed by righteous fire.
Is it an echo can match the resilience of Alexander?
It's quite an old video, I will say. I'll see if I can find it in between pulls or something. I released it with on the launch day of Endwalker, actually, because I used the opportunity of a job being reworked and 2 new jobs getting added as, like, I could just show how I, like, logic placing my buttons for these jobs. Do we not have an elf? I don't know if Aradel is busy right now.
My divine flames shall melt thy flesh, sear thy bones.
You found it? Yeah, but you can't send links in the chat.
Open thine eyes. My radiance shall guide thee.
If you send it to me in a DM, I can pass it around, pass it into the chat.
Immutable, indestructible, impervious, immortal.
Thank you, Sally.
I'd expect nothing less of such a...
Oh, Healing Rose already found it. Fair enough. Yeah, I just sort of assume with videos like that they might be difficult to find.
Wish for eternity, yearn for immortality. Sense thy transience, know thy insignificance.
Still standing in the face of his judgment. Well done.
Yeah, that would do it. Just searching Keybind on the channel. That's good to know. Maybe I'll be able to say that next time. Hey, why is that? But yeah, I believe in the bottom left of the screen for basically the whole video, I show my exact like my setup, how I press buttons. It even shows that I have the ability to keyboard turn. I have the capacity to. Ah!
A comrade is in trouble. Someone heal them.
We keep trying. What? All right, the half room, please.
Defenses of Alexander cannot stop us. I say we press on. The Garden of Roulettes. And that means
Fancy names in the party? Galaxy says at the same time, dungeons are easy enough that it didn't matter I was making mistakes. I mean, that's part of the point. That you're safe to make the mistakes there, I think. Exactly. It can be scary, or it sounds scary, but it's supposed to be easy enough that it's like, it's okay if you goof it up. But then you learn and you get better and you get faster.
that's the last of them. There is no foe Sorelja can conjure that I have not already vanquished. The Twilight God? Here? Sorelja, you bastard. You'll pay dearly for this. We stand now before the very Father of creation. Hold nothing back.
Who calleth my name?
What in the world?
What in the
The
world?
emptiness threatens to spread.
The reign of twilight is inevitable.
Which one was your old main, Retro Gaming? siege. Right.
Thine arrogant heart shall be mine.
The darkness, it's growing.
The darkness!
Places. It's been swallowed by the emptiness. The darkness of man's heart made manifest.
The darkness!
No, I won't give in.
Thine own weakness betrays thee.
Rude.
Oh, Altana, I beg your grace once more. So long as I hold faith in my comrades and they in me, darkness shall find no purchase in my heart.
Oh, darkness.
It's taking the darkness into itself.
Our farewell shall be.
Thine own weakness. Bro, I haven't even died yet. Come on, man.
Twilight God could never.
Don't you read my debuffs?
What has Sorelja done?
Desire for the emptiness.
A comrade is in trouble. Someone heal them.
It's okay, I already fixed it.
Desire. Hunger for the end of mortality.
Hunger.
Careful, lest the darkness take you.
O star, descend from the heavens. I beseech thee.
Oh, I don't think I made that in time.
Decided.
A comrade is down. Someone revive them.
Desire for the emptiness.
Hey, no more desire for empty. Gaming says, I remember my day 1 Phoenix in Shadowbringer raid as summoner. Your day 1 Phoenix? Do you mean the Phoenix in Pandemonium? Yeah, I do remember launch. Phoenix
Divine dragon that brought
had a
ruin
tendency to
Vanadil's
catch people
dream.
off guard. That does not surprise me.
So, World Destroyer wouldn't be an exaggeration for this one. Well, that's just wonderful. Never thought I'd see a god that'd give Promathia a run for his money.
Promathia assumed this form after its resurrection. Now I suppose you would have no way of knowing.
I do like how the NPCs are here doing the mechanics as well.
Shinryu has already brought ruin to one world. We cannot let it come to another.
Not a chance. Let's kick this thing's scaly ass.
A language, Preesh? How could you? And while we're on the topic, appears to be very snake-like.
What the hell was that?
Better than 2P and 2B, just
Elder
giving
finally
0 Fs.
prepared the
Yeah.
vessel for his king.
Or how about in Delubrum Reginae, where our lizard friend, what's her name again? Just phases out whenever a mechanic hits her. Just goes worm and don't take damage.
You will have done well, Sorelja. This world is mine to conquer, mine to rule forevermore. Oh, sacred flame from beyond.
I cast Fire Blast.
And consign my foes to ash.
Everyone, with me!
Oh, Charles, stop! That's enough!
Stop. Also, Massius, love how essentially Zarilja's story is summoning a phantom bat to tell him he's doing a good job. I guess so.
Don't you worry about me, Krish. I'll see this adventure to its conclusion.
Rawr.
Face the king's judgment. My word is absolute.
I really hate the left side of the arena.
I will not be denied.
Oh no! Someone's down! Can anyone revive them?
My word is absolute.
Ooh! That looked like it hurt! Hang in there!
Thank you. What?
A truly mighty blow. The adventurers of your world are extraordinary indeed.
Ta-da! Oop. Womp. I want something. Hey, Stony! Hope you're doing well. Jack lost the emote on a 94. Yeah, actually, on that, Lucas, a few months ago, I made a video on the probability statistics of rolls in 14, and if I remember correctly, you need to roll like a 97 if it's an alliance raid, all rolling on the item, for you to have actually like a reasonable chance of winning. Anything below that is basically like, yeah, you're probably not winning it, because the probability of someone rolling something higher than you is actually pretty high. Which, of course, is like, interesting? You can't do anything with that information other than go, huh? That's awesome, Stony. I'll be there too. Thank you, Silly. But on that note, we got the things done. And I think we'll wrap it up from there. So I hope you all had fun. And if you'd like to be part of the Discord community server, there's a link right there in the chat. There you'll find the weekly schedule where you can see what else is coming up in the coming days. I usually update it Sunday or Monday. You also find the announcement room with links to videos and streams and put them out. And if you grab the reminder roll in the role assignments room, you get a notification whenever I post a video or stream. And so next roll around 15 minutes before stream starts, you can catch it right when we go live. And if you'd like to support the channel more directly, you can like over on the YouTube side of things. You can follow, you can subscribe, you can become a member, you can super chat, you can cheer, you can do all of that goodness. If you don't like any of that, there's also the Ko-Fi link. I will post it right there in the chat. It all helps support me in the channel directly so I can focus on doing stuff like this with all of you. So thanks so much for the support. But let's see if we can find someone to raid. Let us see if we can find somebody to raid. Exactly, Dr. Insano. A 97 being good odds is actually just, well, now it's a coin flip. Looking over streams to raid. How about we check in on Reggie with his Elden Ring? I think that could be fun. But on that note, that'll be it from me tonight. So good night, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where in the world, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye!